I got a lot of flack from my videos about Donald Trump supporters, comparing him to Jesus Christ. A video about me comparing Donald Trump supporters to worshipers of the golden calf. I've got a lot of flack for that, and honestly, I really don't care. I stand by what I say, but honestly, I went probably maybe a little bit too far, because there's one person that in human history that we should be comparing Donald Trump to: Adolf Hitler. And I know I'm going to get some flack for this, but I don't care. Listen to what I am saying. Because the problem with anyone saying that it's unfair to compare Trump to Hitler because of the atrocities of World War II and the Jewish people that Hitler committed, that's unfair. Yeah, we know that Trump hasn't gone that far yet. But Hitler didn't start off by invading Poland and carrying out the Holocaust either. Unhinged, mentally unstable egomaniacs with a long list of psychiatric issues who rose to positions of power such as Trump and Hitler don't start out as unhinged, mentally unstable, and psychotic as they ultimately become. Over time, as they continue pushing the boundaries of what they could get away with, they spiral further and further toward what they eventually turn into. Trump didn't start out as president ranting about Greenland, attacking Venezuela, starting a war with Iran, suing his own government for billions to enrich himself and his allies, sending the National Guard into multiple cities around the nation, and pushing for some level of American imperialism around the globe. Don't get me wrong, he always was a horrible person with some severe mental and emotional and physical problems. However, his first presidency started in 2017 compared to what we've seen right now in 2024 onward, since he got back into the White House, was relatively sane. And I use that word very lightly. He actually had a few qualified, legitimate adults in the first administration. Think about this for just by way of example. In 2017, his first Secretary of Defense was a highly respected, highly decorated, highly experienced Marine Corps 4-star general who served this nation over 4 decades. Now is a disgraced Army officer, woman-abusing alcoholic adulterer who is working as a host on Fox News before he became 6th in line to the presidency. Now, I didn't agree often with some of the people that Trump had during his first stint in the White House, but I would take nearly all of them right this second to replace the most unqualified clowns he has in office and in positions of power and influence now. You see, the more Trump gets away with, the more unhinged and deranged and dangerous he'll become. Will he ever become just like Adolf Hitler? We'll never know, because it won't get to that point. Not only because he's too old and he's knocking on death's door right now every day that we see him, but because as of right now, we still have mechanisms, in this country to prevent that from happening for now. But this idea that you can't compare the two of them is a simple lie. I'm not saying today's Trump is just like Hitler. What I'm saying is that Trump is following a similar pattern to other unhinged, power-hungry fascist madmen who shared the same dangerous, sick, and mentally unstable traits, one of whom was Hitler. So is Trump just like Hitler? No. But he's Hitler adjacent. And here's the simple truth for you, MAGA. He is a lot more like Hitler than he is Ronald Reagan. CTP knows God bless. Peace to the left, justice to the right.